Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 video. Here's a video I didn't think I would really have to make. It didn't really cross my mind to make a video like this because I never hit on my life wizard, so I've never thought to put together gear for life hitting at max level, or this can probably apply to level 120 as well. Most of the gear is 120 or even 100 because there's some dark mode gear in here, but never thought to make a life hitting setup video. This is not a perfect gear setup by any means. The only wizard that I feel like I'm close to having like a perfect setup for stats is my storm wizard, but that's because I actually hit on that character, and I feel like storm can just get crazy stats, so I try to like go all out on my storm with his stats. But life, not even close to that, and I'm sure people have way crazier setups than this, but this is just like the basic setup for gear and stuff like that, so you kind of know what to go for, and then people can just take this and go further to be able to actually get really good stats. But currently, actually in hitting gear on my life, pretty crazy, I know. I never hit on this character unless I'm forced to, and the only time I'm forced to is during solo quests. I mean, who knows, maybe in Imperial Part 2 there's going to be a solo part where you have to go in and solo some type of boss to get to Imperial Part 2. They've done that before in other worlds. And also, this could help people that are hitting as a life wizard, and you don't have to be max level. I mean, if you're max level, you already have completed, you don't need a quest anymore. But this could help people that are leveling, because as soon as you're the right level to get this gear, if you can get it, then you're going to be set, because this is some of the best gear in the game. I'm using some level 100 gear at level 125 right now, so there's still gear that we've been using for 25 levels because it's that good. But here we go. This is the hitting setup for my life. Not perfect, but it's a good overview of what to go for and what I think is pretty good for life hitting right now. There are some things that are going to be interchangeable, but this is kind of the nice balanced setup that I decided to go for right now. And I'll tell you what I could switch out and what's I would change if I actually were to continue to try to make this set a little better. But damage about 120, I feel like this is pretty good for life. With certain gear, you can get up to 130, maybe 140. I don't know about 140, but life can't get as much damage as some of the other schools. So I feel like about this damage level for life is pretty good. Resist is good, 44, and I'm sure I can get more if I had a better pet. Accuracy 25. I feel like this is actually pretty high for accuracy, and I'd probably switch out a jewel of accuracy for another power pip jewel, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But you don't need 25 accuracy on your life. You need maybe 15. I think 15 is pretty good. But that's where I'm at right now. And critical is 63%. That's decent. You're not really going to be going for 100% critical or anything like that on a life wizard. It's nice if you have higher critical, because then you can critical a heal or something, but 63%, pretty good. Block, whatever. No one cares about block anymore. If you block, great. If you don't, whatever. Not the end of the world. Pierce 28, that's pretty high for Pierce. I'd probably switch out one of those jewels too, because I don't think I need that many piercing jewels, but it's fine. I'd probably switch out one of those for a critical one if I really wanted to. I feel like having higher critical on life can go pretty far, because criticaling heals is really good, and your attacks too. If I was hitting on my life, I would never expect to critical any of my attacks, because I just know that life doesn't have a super high critical rating, but whatever. So 28 pierce, a little bit of star resist from jewels, okay healing, nothing crazy, and then 90% power pip. If I were to socket instead of accuracy, go for power pip, I'd have 100%. So that's pretty good. And there's a shadow pip from the gear. So decent stats. Let's go ahead and look at the actual gear that I'm using, and I'll interchange some stuff and take a look at it too. So this is what I'm talking about with the level 100 gear. Dark mode gear is level 100, and people still use it. So this is probably what I'm going to use as my official equipment set for hitting, so that I can just switch to this when I want to hit. But Mouster hood is really good. If you want to change it out, I have the Cabal's one. So this is what the Cabal's hood would look like. It would give you 8% more damage, lower the resist, and it would also give lower critical by a little bit, lower pierce, and lower power pip. Not too much though, but it basically in higher shadow pip. So basically, it would, like, the main difference is the damage. So you're adding damage, you're losing resist, and I feel like if you're solo questing though, you want a little bit more resist. That's why I wouldn't really use this, but it's an option. It's there if you want it. That's the Cabal's Hood. I'm gonna stick with the Mouster one for now. So that's kind of what I've been using, or at least what I've decided to use for this set. I mean, I've hit before on my Life Wizard. I don't even know if I have a hitting set. No, I don't. I used to. I'm pretty sure I used to at some point, but so Mouster robe as well. Here is the other option. It's the Rattlebones robe. This one's really good. If you just look at the stats, they're very similar. So it's kind of pick and choose what you want. If you want the Mouster one, then go for it. If you want the Rattlebones one, sure, go for it. It's completely your choice. The stats are super similar. I choose the Mouster one just because I feel like the stats are a little bit balanced overall. You get a little more accuracy and power pip, and then all you're losing is 1% resist and 1 critical, so, and a little bit of health. Nothing crazy there. It's completely your pick. I feel like they're so close that you might as well just pick on your own which one you want. I like the Mouster one, so I'd pick that. But the shoes, I was using the Cabalist ones. So luckily I got both Cabalist life pieces of gear from the secret tunnel, so I'm able to show those. But these are the Cabalist boots. That's what I would use for the high damage, good critical. As an option, I have the Mouster ones in here, so that's the comparison. Basically 6% more damage with Cabalist, and Mouster gives no critical, so your critical would be even lower. You'd have like less than 50% critical if you didn't use the Cabalist boots, but I would probably use Cabalist. I think for boots, the Mouster ones are not as good, so I would stick with those because you don't really need the block, and I mean, Pierce you don't really need it either, but I would go with those. I feel like they're pretty good for this setup. Eye of the Soothsayer is what I've been using. You can use the Revered Weapon if you have that. If you want damage, you're going to lose out on some critical there, but I mean, it's completely up to you. With that wand, I'm sure you could get, that's where you could probably get closer to 130, maybe 140 with a good pet on that. So I don't have the Revered Weapon on my life because I never really had a reason to craft it. And I feel like the Eye of Soothsayer is just such a good one that people have used for a long time. So that's 120, or that's actually 110. You can get it for 120, and I think it would add another damage or something. So this is only level 110. Level 120 is out there for this wand. I might even have it somewhere. I just don't know, but that's what I have on me. So I have Soothsayer for level 120, or whatever level you are. It's going to be good. And then for the theme, I'm using the Darker one. It's just good overall. Do I even have the Morganth one to compare? Yeah, I do. Here's the Morganth one for comparison. It's interchangeable, whichever one you want. I don't use the Morganth one because I have it set for healing. So I use the Morganth theme just for healing. If you have it and you have it socketed with Pierce, then go for it. Use that. But for me, I have to stick with the Darker one because this one would not really work too well since you want Pierce if you're going to hit. I mean, if I wanted to heal, I could use this one and hit, but it's up to you. So this one's pretty good. Both are decent, and the stats are fairly similar. So there you go. People just use this one for healing because it has 20% outgoing, and then you can socket 2 outgoing on top of that. So it's really good for healing, and for hitting if you want. So that's the comparison there. Jewel of Shadow Web, this is the Morganth one for the amulet. And I mean, this is pretty basic. Everyone uses this one, level 99. And the only comparison I would see is the Rasputin one, but I wouldn't use it because it's not really for hitting, so don't use that. And I guess what is the other one? I don't know. I would just use that, honestly. That's like one of the best ones. Unless there's the one from Darkmoor, but I'm not sure. I would just stick with that. So for the ring, I've got the Mimic one. Since I farmed the Mimic so much, I have every single Mimic ring that he drops. And here is the one for life. Gives critical and damage. So overall really good. Here's a comparison between the Alpha and Omega and the Mimic one. I just like the new one, the Mimic one, because it gives the critical. So it's good overall. It doesn't give power pip, so you have to make up for that somewhere. But those are the only ones. All my other rings in here are support rings. So all I have is really the Mimic one. But I feel like it's really good. And I've been using this on all my hitting characters. I feel like a lot of people use it, so it's super good. You're gonna have to farm for it, but yeah. Here's my pet. This is where I have a big area for improvement, is my pet. This is the best hitting pet I have for my life. It doesn't even have 9% dealer, and it doesn't have 10% proof. But there you go. I mean, whatever the pet you have, use that. And I could get more damage out of the pet, but it's fine. I don't really care too much. I never hit on my life, so why would I spend time going for a pet if I never, if I never hit? I don't need the pet. So I'll just use what I got. I don't even have a damage mount on this character, I don't think. Maybe I do somewhere. But if you use a damage mount, you can get 2% to 3% more damage in there. And then I have the Rasputin deck. This one's good for Power Pip. But I also have the best one, which is the Omen deck. And I have this socketed for accuracy, that's why I don't have it equipped. But these are the two best ones. Some people argue that the Fight Club one is good, but I personally don't think it's that good. I like having higher max copies, and I just feel like these are better. So these are personally my top 2 decks for basically every school. But yeah, this is the best one, and Rasputin's pretty good. So there you go. I mean, that's basically the setup. And with that, you'll probably be able to get about 120 plus damage. I think this is low. Probably can get more than that. Decent resist and everything, and you'll probably crit a okay amount of the time. At least over 50% is good. So, and if you socket the right jewel, you'll have 100% power pip, unlike me. But that's because I have, which one? I would socket this. I would put a power pip in there instead of accuracy, because you don't need that much accuracy on the life. I mean, come on, you need like 15. 10 to 15. Then you're good. But where's accuracy? Yeah, I have 25. Too much. So that's it. I mean, that is the life hitting setup. As soon as you can get to level 100 going for the Mouser stuff, it's going to be super good. You don't need the boots. I feel like boots are found elsewhere in the game now. I mean, if you get them, awesome. If not, then you could farm for them because they're decent. Or you could just wait until you get to level 125 and go for Kabbalist. But the only thing in here that's really from packs would be the wand. Everything else is farmable, just from different areas in the game. So, I mean, decent setup. Yeah, so Darkmoor and Secret Tunnel pack. Darkmoor again, Morganth from the Mimic, and Rasputin or Omen. So, a lot of different places to get the gear, but most of it's Darkmoor, honestly. That's what I'm waiting for. People keep asking me, what do you think is going to happen for gear? Do you think level 130 is going to have another dungeon? I'm hoping, because we've had level 100 gear for a long time. The best amulets are still from Morganth, level 199, you know? I'm waiting. It'd be nice if we got a level 130 new dungeon to be able to farm for stuff, because Darkmoor's been around for so long, it's like, yeah, level 125, we still use level 100 gear because it's that good. So Darkmoor is still a staple in this game, and it's going to be like that until they release something else. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you helped you if you are life looking for a hitting setup. Then I hope this gives you some inspiration on what to go for and what's pretty good. This isn't the best setup ever, but it'll give you an idea of what to go for, because I feel like it's a good starting point. If you have all this and then you get the jewels and you get a good pet, you'll be set. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.